And so ended up with this bag and this bag of minifigures. So that is 3.26 pounds of minifigures. And then we had this container here and this container here of good parts to list. So all in all, ended up with 4.3 pounds of good parts out of this, and that one was... So just a sneak peek at the madness from several weeks from now, because this clip is being recorded after the fact and being put at the beginning of this first vlog back. So yeah, then I just wanted to say welcome back to the vlogs, because it has been several weeks and I actually changed some things up, which I explain in a future vlog as to why it's several weeks earlier than I thought, but it does make sense, at least with the thought process that I was thinking at that point. So yeah, then this here is the first vlog back and just a sneak peek at what's going on. I won't spoil too much of what's happening. That will be in the future vlogs. But yeah, then this is the first vlog back, and I'm going to probably be trying to do vlogs once a week for the time being, just to test that out, see how that works. And yeah, so we should hopefully start seeing slight quality increases with each vlog, or each every now and then. I'm not an expert on editing or anything like that, so it's not like it's going to be all of a sudden much higher quality than the last vlog, but I can hopefully now start spending some more time with the several week gap between recording and uploading to start making the vlogs a bit better quality and stuff like that. But yeah, then thanks for watching the vlog again, but I should probably get to work on that container there, and then trying to start editing the vlog you are now watching. So yeah, then now this here is being recorded right after the previous vlog, actually on the same day. It's still processing on the computer to be edited here. But then, yeah, starting to record a bit because, yeah, I'm taking a break from work. But the thing is, I can't take a break all day. There isn't that much to do because, like, trying to figure out other stuff. Can't do that all day. And since it's 9 p.m., I got like an hour and a half with nothing to do. So I personally am a big fan of my work. So for me, part of vacation is doing fun stuff. So that means we are going to be taking a look at this haul here. For reference, I believe this one was, I want to say 40 bucks for the container and 40 bucks for delivery. Might have been a bit more. Honestly, I can't remember. It might have been 80 bucks for all I know. So then it'll be 120 total. I'm not entirely sure on that. Yeah, but all I know is that it was a good deal. So we are going to be taking a look at this container now. So yeah, then some of the highlights from this one here are this battery box, which goes for like 40-50 bucks. Then this here is one motor, and then there was a second one here, and these guys, I think these are the ones that are somewhat valuable, that go for like 20 to 30 bucks each, if I'm not mistaken. And then there was somewhere in here, I probably won't find it again, but there was the Armored Batman from the one tumbler set, which goes for like 50-60 bucks or something like that. So yeah, lots of cool stuff in here. So we will start to go through this. But then for these, I am going to be keeping the battery box and the one motor here for testing in the future, because then if in some lot in the future I get just a motor or just a battery box, then I can actually test it to make sure it works before selling it and all that type of stuff. And so I will be keeping one of each of those. But yeah, we will see what is in the rest of this. So then just finished now, and so we have this for minifigures, and then the special parts. So just shy of 1 pound of good parts were taken out of that one, and of that container there. And if I'm not mistaken, then that one there was like 20 or 30 pounds or something like that. So not bad. And yeah, so that is now done. And yeah, lots of cool and interesting parts in here. Got a good horse. There's some Scooby-Doo stuff. Like that one there, and then yeah, the Batman one and stuff like that. So yeah, that is now done now. So then I just double checked, and it was $150 for this entire container, and so then that includes delivery and all that stuff, and so that would be so like 50 that's like 30, and then another 30, so that'd be 80, 110, and so yeah, then these 3 electrical parts plus the Batman pay for the full thing. So then that would mean if you remove just the one Batman minifigure from here, I think it's this one. Yeah, so if you remove just the one Batman minifigure from here and those electrical parts, then all of this and that was taken out of here, so it's like half a container or so, is paid for by that, and the rest of it is then free. Well, I know, not technically speaking, but yeah, that's a good deal, I'd say. So then the next one that I will go through will be this container here. And this one is like 20 to 30 pounds. And this is one that I believe it was $90, including delivery. Well, delivery because, well, I had to pay my dad for the gas and stuff for getting it. So all in, it was $90. And so this is one of the ones that I personally think is one of the best deals of the ones, just for how much cool stuff is in it, and for only 90 bucks. But then, just to keep things all fun, on my first day of the break, had to call the CRA and then then had to get a form from the CBSA and then download that, because with Stallion Express, when you get returns from the United States, you need a import brokerage thing. And then with Chit Chats, I had a similar thing, but it never told me I had to sign up for an importer's license. But I mean, I had like 1 or 2 returns, I think, with Chit Chats, and they both were fine. However, on Stallion, it specifically says I have to sign up for an importer's license. So I had to call the CRA, but it turns out that even though they used to do it, for some reason, they've transferred all of that to the CBSA, which is the border service, until October. So it's like a couple months. It's August right now. I think October's next month, though I might be mistaken. And then so because we're in that really weird window time, I had to go through that. So then, after waiting for like 45 minutes with the CRA to find that out, went to the CBSA, downloaded that form, filled it out, had to print it out to sign it, because based off of the rules, I don't think they accept the printed signature, because that's the only one I could figure out with Adobe. So had to sign that, rescan it, upload it, and so sent that off. So we are going to see if they respond for that. New email, I wonder if that's them. But then, yeah, that is finally got the first part of that done, and soon can look at more Lego. Just wanted to confirm that was not them, because the government would probably not respond to a legal email within 5 minutes. It was just a Amazon thing. When it gets to just the really small stuff, then at this point, it's actually faster to just use a pair of tweezers to just pick up all the stuff that you want to separate, because for some of them, it's just absolutely wild how much hair is in here. And this isn't just the buildup from multiple trays. This here is just from one tray, which is 3 handfuls taken from the top. So yeah, then at this point, just using tweezers to pick it up, because your hands, if you try to pick something up, you get all the hair and stuff like that stuck on it as well. So yeah, at this point, just using tweezers. It goes surprisingly fast, actually, with tweezers, but yeah, did not expect tweezers to be the fastest way to do this. One decision that I think I'm going to make now, early on into the new process, is when I get down to the very last tray, which are filthy, as you can see, then instead of salvaging every single last brick that I can, I'm only going to be removing the parts for like the minifigure parts and stuff like that I'll be listing, and then the rest that would normally end up in the bulk, I just will leave that on the tray, because right now it'll probably take, I want to say, 20 minutes or so to carefully separate out all of the stuff that isn't Lego versus the stuff that is. And then, since I sell this by the pound, then I'd imagine this here is probably no more than like 1/5 of a pound. So at most, well, it's probably significantly less than that by the time I remove the other stuff. So probably somewhere around 50 cents to $1 worth of parts are actually on the tray here. So I'm just going to remove the ones that I'll be keeping specifically, but then everything else will just be put with the normal stuff in the garbage, because even if it was salvageable from removing from the hair and stuff like that, a lot of it is still just filthy on the inside of the brick and stuff like that. So once I calculate that all in, it's just not worth the few that could be salvaged versus just the overall amount of work it takes in that sense. But don't worry, I still will go through it very carefully, because this tray here is usually, not always, but usually where you will find the most expensive small items and a lot of dead bugs and stuff like that in the entire lot, because they're the parts that people usually won't list and stuff like that, because it's the very bottom of the pile. They get thrown out or lost by accident and stuff like that. So this here is where you'll usually find things like your dark tan plumes or the black plumes that go for like 40, 50, 60 bucks each and stuff like that. That's where they're usually where they're usually found. And then you'll just find still lots of decent parts and stuff like that in there. But yeah, then I will make sure to always look extremely carefully piece by piece before throwing it out. But then yeah, I'll just leave the other parts in. So yeah, just finished now with the rest of that. So we have this bag and these two containers here of the parts that'll get listed. So we will change that to pounds. So of just the minifigure parts, and I think I include some of the accessories in here, but there's like that many, like there's a hilt there and stuff like that. But of those, we have 1.5 pounds. And then for the non-minifigure parts, but are still good, like that boat's like 15, 20 bucks or something. And there's two of these cement truck things, which are like $5+ each. I think this thing here is actually like 20, 30 bucks if it works. I haven't tested it or anything though yet. But yeah, so 2.3 pounds total. And that one was from that container, which was just $90, including the pickup cost and everything like that. So yeah, that was a really good deal. And then some other highlights. These here, there's two of them. They got a lot of scratching and stuff like that, as you can see there. But those ones go for like 15 bucks each or something like that, and there's two of them, so that's nice. But yeah, definitely really good stuff in here. So add that to the backlog there, and we're starting to run out of room here a little bit. So let's try to move that there and stuff like that. And there was no cash and no Nerf darts in this lot, which is a bit rare. So that's interesting. But yeah, then that is now done. And I am either going to try to get the listing set up for the by the pound stuff, but I think I might wait till I have like a 100 or so pounds, just so I can get some good photos and create all the listing variations and stuff like that. But yeah, this filthy container can now finally be thrown out and stuff like that. And then it will be on to the next. And I think the next one I'm going to work on is going to be the somewhat recent one, which is from this stuff here, because the containers from that are around the side over here, and I keep bumping into them whenever I pull orders and stuff like that. And I don't exactly trust their structural integrity. So I am probably going to work on that one next. But yeah, then this year is why I was so keen on getting as much backlog as I could, because yeah, we can already see how much the backlog has shrunk. We've got the $600 deal, we've got the $1,000 deal, and we've got the $900 deal left. And then besides that, it's just some old stuff from the previous use stuff I had that's still just kind of sitting around and stuff like that. So from all of the things, actually no, we've also got the one that was like 40 bucks or something in one of those things there, and there's like a $15 one from before that. But yeah, it's like pretty much all done already except for the three largest ones. And yeah, it'll take a while, but the thing is, based off of me now doing this for a little bit now, I'd say, I mean, it's vacation days technically, so I'm not getting as much done as I would normally quite. But then the first one was about 20 to 30 pounds. Then we had a 30-pound one. And then we had this one, which is about 20 to 30 as well. So that'd be on the low end, about 70 pounds. And this one fell earlier. I forgot, I didn't see where it went. But yeah, so roughly 70 pounds on the low end, and it's taken I want to say 2 days, maybe 3 days. So then, with that, then we can check to see in that sense, because then if it's taken about 2 to 3 days to sort through about 70 pounds, then realistically, as I get better at it and stuff like that, just to be on the rough estimate, if I have 6 days a week I work, then if I can get 100 pounds a week sorted and do that in 2 to 3 days, then I should have 3 to 4 days, depending on how long the initial sort takes, in order to list what I want to list from it. And then based off of some of the other stuff, we're looking at about 1/20th or so, roughly, of what is in the lots gets listed. So then if it's 100 pounds, then I would have 3 to 4 days to list a roughly, what's 1/20th? That'd be about 5 pounds roughly. So then to also pull and ship orders out and stuff like that. So now we've got some rough estimates, and it can vary quite a bit. But then, yeah, that would mean that roughly we want to try to buy at least 100 pounds a week. But then potentially, if in the future I can get, well, this year is far off because I have no plans to get employees at this exact moment or anything like that. But if I ever to have an employee, which is quite common for larger Bricklink stores, then might be able to increase that. But for now, I want to always try to have a backlog. So I want to be able to get at least 100 pounds a week of unsorted bulk in, which would then lead to being, well, each month has like 4 to 5 weeks. So yeah, it's real rough estimate of 500 pounds a month is still what I want to try to aim for. So then, yeah, we will see how much of this we can do and continue. But yeah, then once I can, because yeah, like sales should have the old stuff sold out by late December, early January. Then once we can start getting this really good stuff listed, I'd say if you give it half a year to a year or so until I can get a new solid inventory listed, then hopefully sales should be solid enough to be able to consistently do that. And then I can continue going back to some of my previous methods for parting out inventory. Like, for example, if it's parting out sets, then that's something that I could potentially pay someone to do that stuff there, because that's more straightforward. With this stuff, it involves a lot of memory work and stuff like that. Because, like, I mean, if it's just pulling out minifigure parts, that's something that most could do. But the thing is, I pull out a lot of stuff that isn't minifigure parts, and stuff like that. So, like, just interesting stuff as well. And some of that stuff, it's just good to know. Like this one here, this specific variation goes for like 80-90 cents or something like that. So it's just a good one to take out. But someone sifting through just for minifigure parts would probably miss that. Same with the ones in dark blue. If they aren't all that familiar with them, they wouldn't know that's a $15-20 brick there and stuff like that. So that's why I want to, in general, try to keep the bulk sorting for mostly something that I work on, just because I've been able to build up all of that from sorting through thousands of pounds before I got to this. And so then, yeah, if I was able to expand after that, it would probably be for mostly with the new sets. And so I might be able to start getting that into a higher amount once hopefully this starts to level out, because Bricklink is a long game. So you don't want to be necessarily planning for the next week or two. You want to be thinking, okay, for this, if I can get this stuff sorted, how many years will it be until I can get to the next step? And so that's what I try to think of when I'm working on this and stuff like that. So that's why the plans are years out usually for stuff like that. So yeah, then this year's the next one up, and it was, I believe, $470 for this here. And we roughly estimated that there's about 30 to 40 pounds. Yeah, so then with that, based off of our numbers, we want to hope that there is at least about 2 pounds of minifigure parts and stuff like that that we can get from this. So just finished with that one now. I actually forgot to empty the garbage one here, so we'll do that. And so yeah, then that, yeah, there's a hair there. Yeah, then that one is, there's dust in there. we can get that. And then there's a hair. Yeah, nope, the hair is still there. You can see it a little bit. It's on here as well. I have a feeling that this stuff is going to be somewhat more often in the work area here now, because it is in most lots. Well, probably all of them. But yeah, then so ended up with this bag and this bag of minifigures. So that is 3.26 pounds of minifigures. And then we had this container here and this container here of good parts to list. So all in all, ended up with 4.3 pounds of good parts out of this. And that one was, I believe, was it 470 or something? So not bad at all. So then, yeah, 470. So let's see here. Normally, well, actually, let's just get the calculator up there. So let's say it's normally, including delivery, like 1,200 for 5 pounds. So that would be about that. And then here, if we do this, so it would be 470 divided by 3.26. That is a better deal than if I buy it by the pound at auction. And those prices aren't Canadian, so it's like 170 or something, because in Canada, eBay auctions for minifigures tend to go for significantly higher than they do in America. Yeah, but then that is that bag there and that bag there all done now. And so I will process the instruction manuals, and yeah, so then have some more larger items. So I'm keeping base plate type items. I think I'm going to include 16 by 16 as well, but I'm not entirely sure on that, as well as large vehicle parts, because these things have some value, but I just don't like shipping very bulky items like that. So those are there. And yeah, so I will finish up with this, and we might be able to start on one of the smaller ones then, from like those boxes there or something. So next up is, I can't remember if it's all 3 of these boxes or if it's just 2 of them, but it is, I know for sure this is one of them here. And then let's check this one here. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is one from it as well. And so there's that one. And then there's this one, which might be from it. Yeah, I think this is from it. I can't say I've seen that in dark red before. We'll check that one in a second, but yeah, so I think it was these 3 boxes, although one of these might have been from a different one. I don't remember exactly, but it was $185 total for all of these, and I'm pretty sure that's a fake Wolverine there. Oh no, that's just the micro one. Yeah, then there were some real nice ones in here, because there was like the minifigures from that set. That guy there goes for like 50-60 bucks or something. Then there was also that guy, which goes for a whole bunch. Jestro's a decent one. So it, from the initial look when I had gotten it, it looks to be worth it. Yeah, now time to go through it. But yeah, then this part here in dark red goes for about $1.23, and it is from this dinosaur set and this dinosaur set. So I just wanted to record this as an outro for the vlog you're currently watching, because I recorded it several weeks ago. However, I didn't remember to record an outro because I didn't think that this was going to be a standalone vlog, but then it ended up being that I ended up getting a lot more work done because vacation was kind of boring because there wasn't anything to do, so I just kind of got back to work after just a day or two with only a few breaks mixed in. So then, yeah, that is that, and I just wanted to clarify that the Yogurt Time clips will return. It's just that since this was recorded when I thought I was going to be taking a vacation, that, yeah, it didn't record that, and then we started having problems with the store-bought yogurt, so we had to buy a homemade yogurt maker, and then that took several weeks to arrive. So then I don't know if it's going to be the next vlog or the vlog after, but they do return, so that is good news for that. But then yeah, this is the end of the vlog. The next vlog should be out next week Monday, because I am trying for 1 vlog a week now. So yeah, that should be out next week Monday, and thank you for watching if you got this far.